Hello Taurus, thank you for coming back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I do hope you enjoy it. It will be a general reading, so please don't forget to like and share or like and subscribe. There are aspects of this chart which may apply to you, or they could apply to somebody else that you're interacting with at this time, or somebody else in your life, and you may see aspects of this coming out in their life. It is a general reading, so just use whatever you can from it. I try to cover things in a lot of detail, so something in there will resonate for you. If you have aspects of your chart which affect you, and you like to cross-watch to other videos, then you can do so. I have other videos which may apply to you. So it could be your ascendant which you follow, or where your moon or your Venus is, or some other aspect. I have already shuffled and laid out the cards. So I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac. So as the cards are coming up in each house, then those are the influences that are coming in for you at this time. So bottom of the deck is Sagittarius IC. So the elements of this are coming out in your chart. So this is a very visionary card. It's a very outgoing, expansive card. So it's that kind of energy coming in for you. So you could be experiencing a breakthrough or luck of some sort of opportunity where you can try new things, or you can move things forward in a direction. So it's expansion of some kind. It could also bring you freedom from something you have been in, or freedom to choose, or freedom to move forward in some way. But whatever opportunity comes up for you, take hold of it and move forward with it, because the energy of expansion is going to be with you at this time. Then in the first house we have Gemini, I think. So first house is everything to do with your body, your physical body, yourself, your appearance, how you project yourself to others, your characteristics, your personality, and your vitality and your life force, how you're moving through the world, what your personal independence is based on. So how each day, how you are approaching the world, how you meet the world, and it's all your self-oriented interests as well. So everything to do with the self. So with Gemini, I think coming in, this is bringing in a very quick thinking energy. So you may come across like this to others at this time, or you may need to bring this energy in. So it's quick thinking, it's curious, spontaneous. You're going to need to be flexible. You're going to be multitasking at this time. It's also use of the intellect. So your words and your communication is going to be very, very important at this time. So what you're saying, how you're saying it, whether it's written or verbal or online, whatever form of communication you are using, it's going to be very important at this time. You need to get your point across, basically. There's some aspect perhaps that you need to make known, and this is what people are going to pick up and they're going to receive from you. There could also be gossip swirling around you at this time, so you could be being talked about as well. You could be embarking on something, and anybody who undertakes any form of change, the people around you often are unable to accept that change, or they don't see it as being beneficial because they're looking from the outside. So you may be being talked about at this time, or you're hearing gossip, or you're receiving a message in some way. Technology and electronics is indicated with this card, so you may be using that in some way, or you could be having an upgrade, but it's going to come into your life in some way, so just be aware of that. In the tarot, this is the Lover's card, so you could be meeting a soulmate or a twin flame or a really significant other at this time, and elements of it are popping up in your chart. So there could be elements of this person which is going to be very significant for you. But judging by the rest of your chart, these people this person could be very different from what you have been involved with before. So in this case, that's why I say people may be talking about you in some way. But The other aspect of this card is if you are, getting your point across and, communicating in general, and it's, you've got a lot going on with that. You could be doing multiple things, changing hats and so on. With this energy, do be aware that sometimes you can come across as a bit glib or fickle or tricky even, and in some cases argumentative. So just be aware of that with this in the first house. Then in the second house, we have Taurus, I have. So the second house is everything to do with your income, the sources of your income. It's also your self-worth and your values. So what you value in yourself and what you value in others and in your possessions, your ownership, what you own. It's also to do with property, land, real estate, anything to do with that. So that could be a career or an interest of yours, or maybe you're busy with that at this time. Perhaps you're making a purchase of a home or you're wanting to do something. So with Taurus, I have coming in, this is a lovely card to be having in your second house. Taurus is the second house normally in a chart, in a sun chart. So it's very much in its own home. And this card is all about growth. It's about accumulation of money. Banks and accounting come into this as well. You're going to be planting new seeds, for growth. It's also a very steady and practical energy. That you may need to apply that at this time. So it's a very reliable energy. It's also got a lot to do, as I said, with the earth. Taurus very much rules the second house, and it rules anything to do with the land. So land, property, real estate, earth, earthy activities, earthy things. You may want to purchase a piece of land and grow your own food, or you may be purchasing a piece of land for some other purpose, or you're involved in property in some way, all very well indicated under the Taurus card. It could also be that the arts are important for you. This card, this house is all about self-esteem and values as well. So, this may be intricately connected to that. Or you could be earning income from some artistic endeavor, whether it's the stage or writing, poetry, actually producing art or some other creative endeavor. Any kind of artistic or creative endeavor falls under this as well. So you could also, as I said, the other aspects of this card coming in, it's all about sensuality as well. The Taurus card is all about that, the senses and the enrichment of the senses. It's all about home comforts, comforting yourself, comforting others, and providing a very comfortable environment. It's about luxuries and enjoying those home comforts. So you may be redirecting some of your income into that, or maybe you need to at this time. But it's all about that. It's all about creating a really supportive and sensual environment, which can be lovely fabrics, which can be a beautiful home, or just nurturing yourself as well. Just be careful that you don't overdo it in the luxury department, because this is about money, this house as well, so overspending could come in some way. And also, with regard to too much comfort food, weight gain and so on may come in for you, which will therefore affect your self-esteem. So just everything in moderation. Nothing wrong with spoiling yourself or enjoying home comforts, just everything in moderation. This card can also bring in a bit of procrastination. You could be procrastinating about certain things that you need to do or want to do. Because this card is all about money, but it's also about planting seeds and growth. So you do need to grow as well. In the third house, we have void, of course, moon missing. So the third house is all about your communication. Written, verbal, online, however, it's even body language. It's also about, it rules documents and contracts of all kinds. So it can also be short trips, local journeys. So with this card coming in, it's saying to you that just at the moment, this may cover a period of a few days or a week during the course of the month. I think you will know when the energy shifts and you can move forward again. But just when this energy comes in, it's an energy of just staying as you are for now. So just stay with your normal routine, doing what you would normally do during this period when this is happening. It's kind of, things just go blank for a short period. Just avoid putting energy into launching new things or new action or new undertakings, signing new things. If you can avoid it, just put it off until the energies have shifted. it's a wonderful time for meditation and contemplation. So take a break, rest, dream, and plan what you want to do so that you are ready when the time comes for action, when that shift happens. The reason why they say, with this card is to just avoid, putting energy into things which, new action, things that you want to do, things that you're passionate about, things that you're planning. Just avoid that at the moment, is because the chances of there being cancellations or delays or mistakes happening are very high during this period. It's like things just go blank for a while. So there will be vagueness. Things will just go wrong. Things will miss your mark. So you'll make the wrong choices and so on. So it's a kind of a period where you just stay as you are and don't put energy into something that you really want, because it could fail or it could go wrong. Or you just don't get a good result, And if you just waited a little bit longer, then you will get the good result. But just during this period, while this is happening, just stay as you are during this. It could be something that you want to say to others. Because this is very much a communication card. It can be to people in general and the public, wider audience, but it can also be to specific family members. So this can be aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, general relatives, but also neighbors can come in. So it's your general environment. So something you may want to say or something you may want to do, you want to put passion into it, and it just doesn't work. So just put it off until the energies have shifted. Then in the fourth house, we have water element sensing. Fourth house is the house of house and home, and also family. So this is your physical home. It can also be just where you're residing currently, and it can also be your home environment, so the atmosphere in the home, the people in your home. It can also be your relationship with your roots, your foundation, your ancestry, your ethnic identity. So it's a relationship with that and the people associated with that. So family, specific family members, even heritage, where you've come from. So with this card coming in, it's saying to you at this time in this house, your intuition is going to be very accurate. So just follow what you are sensing for now. Just go with the flow. If there are any stormy conditions going on, just let them pass. All right. This is a me time card. It's saying to you, need to just withdraw periodically in between other activities that are going on. So we just withdraw when things get tricky. Just have some private time, rest, meditate. This is coming up again. It came up before as well. And any artistic or creative activities at this time are going to be wonderful during this period, because this energy is going to highlight your imaginative and artistic abilities and creative abilities. That's going to be highlighted during this phase. So it's a kind of a tapping into the universe, tapping into your inner self, and that comes through meditation and rest and just allowing yourself time and freedom to enjoy that time. Your energy may be low at this time, or you may be going through phases where your energy is low, and therefore you've got to watch your boundaries. Be careful that your boundaries are in place, because people may see that you're sort of in a compassionate, quiet energy, understanding energy, and they may try and take advantage of you at that time. So keep your boundaries up and just withdraw if need be, and just think about, plan what you want to do for when the energies shift and when you've got the energy now to move forward. Any time near water or in water will be helpful for you as well. This is very much a water element. So, even if it's a local trip to a place of water, where it's a lake or a river or even the sea, will be beneficial for you, just to rebalance your energies. In the fifth house, we have Scorpio I transform. So the fifth house is the house of children, whether they're your children or other children that you're associated with at this time. It's also the house of your creativity, your individuality, your originality, your creative brand, what you're expressing, how you express your creativity. It can be artistic as well, if that is a thing for you, but not everybody is artistic. Some are just more creative. And that's something we use every day, all day, in everything that we do. So it's your flair, how you do things, your stamp on things. It's also the house of love affairs, what goes down in that. And also the house of recreational activities of all kinds. So this is fun, outgoing activities, or any kind of activity which you're enjoying, recreational stuff, and that can be any kind of activity. It could even be a sports activity. It's also the house of speculative undertakings like following the stock exchange or gambling, things like that. So risk-taking. So with Scorpio, I transform. This is literally a transformative energy. So what is in this house, what it's saying is what you really want, all right? Because this house covers, it's got very strong energy. It covers everything to do with sex, everything to do with death, and everything to do with rebirth. But the death and the rebirth is normally associated with some kind of ego death. It's symbolic. And it's also about rebirth, and that could be renewal or regeneration of something. So, it can also be endings and beginnings. So something falls away to make way for something new. So that could be happening in this house. It could be happening with you, or it could be happening in your love affair, or it could be happening with your children. But there's room for regeneration and renewal. So if it's a creative endeavor, it could be recycling or upcycling. So this is possessions or things from the past. So it could be something that's been sort of like an heirloom, or furniture or antiques, or something that has been passed to you, and perhaps you've inherited it and you want to reuse it in some way. So, or it could be a business interest of yours, or just a recreational activity that you enjoy, So things from the past come up as well with this card. It can be about that. And it could be to do with perhaps somebody who has passed away and left things for you, and now you're going to reuse them in some way. It also has an energy of pulling things up from underneath, anything that's buried or under the surface. So things rise to the surface under the rays of Scorpio. So this could be hidden feelings, it could be secrets, it could be circumstances that just were not known before, now they suddenly come up to be noticed. So it's anything coming up from underneath. It could also bring power struggles in as well. You may be having that in some way in this house. But it really is a transformative energy. So whatever is going on, you need to transform it in some way to make it work for you, and harness the energies of transformation. Then in the 6th house, we have Aries, I am. So this is the 6th house, is everything to do with your workplace, your work colleagues, mastery of your craft, whatever it is that you do, your work routines. It's also the house of health and diet and your lifestyle as you're living it now. And it's also the house of pets. So now with Aries, I am, it's saying push forward on what you want. Just don't be too forceful at this time. So by all means, go for what you want, but not aggressively, So it's a pushing forward energy. There's a fire has been lit. It's a fiery action card. So take action in a measured and disciplined way. That is the best way to harness this energy. So there's a no-nonsense element to this. It's cards on the table, get things done. So you may have to get up front with somebody, but it's a cards on the table, no nonsense, no game playing. Let's just get this done now. You may have to work with others. So work with another or with others, or in some kind of team. So it's a cooperative effort. You may be involved in that. It also may be about winning in some way. It could also be that you need to take a leadership role in some way. So there could be competition involved here, or you may have to compete, or you could have a competitor that arrives on the scene and you need to really that's going to light a fire under you to get things going. Or it could just be some sort of challenge that's coming for you at this time. Whether this is work related or health related, it's you just apply it as you see fit. So take action and get it done, but work in a measured and disciplined way to harness the best energies from this card. Because you can actually win, you can actually overcome with this card. It's going to give you that energy. It's also a very passionate sign. So it could be you embarking on something which you feel very passionate about. So you could be changing something in your environment or going for a new avenue of work which you're passionate about, and now you've got the energy to do it. It's also about ideas, getting a new idea or following up on an idea. But there's speed, there's quickness about this card as well. It really is about getting fired up and moving forward. Sport could come in with this as well. That may be a thing for you. And the sporting energy, physical action or physical activity. With this card, just avoid any rash action. So that's why I say measured or disciplined action is the best. So rash action, quick temper, and conflict is not going to serve you at this time. So try and avoid that. When it comes to health and diet and lifestyle, generally just avoid rushing. That could affect, bring about headaches. You could have some accidents because you're rushing. It could also affect your blood pressure. So this is very much, as I said, a measured, disciplined action. Then you can achieve a lot with this card, and you'll be able to, get where you're going with the minimal fuss. But it's going to take action and it's going to take effort, but it's going to be directed well if you do that. If you're rushing around, without any real focus or without any real plan, it's not going to work, and things just won't flow properly. In the 7th house, we have Aquarius. I know 7th house is the house of your close personal relationships, one-on-one relationships. So this could be a love partnership, or it could be a business partnership, or some other relationship that is close to you at this time. It's one-on-one. So with Aquarius, I know coming in, this is you're going to get some kind of realization or deep insight into something in this house. So it's more than likely a relationship. It's very close to you right now. So you're going to get a vision or a glimpse of the future with this person. And so it's almost like a download or some kind of, deep realization. With this card coming in, it's saying that, 7th house is about a committed relationship. So this is not a love affair. This is a committed relationship, or one that you're contemplating taking to the next level. So this is marriage, engagement, or a committed business partnership, or some other relationship which is with you and you're very much in it. So what it's saying is that friendship is important. So friendship first with this card. You've got to have a really solid basis of friendship, and then from there all things will grow. You're going to be receiving the support of friends and alliances around this relationship. They're going to assist you at this time. So this card also can bring in very unusual, unconventional, or different circumstances or people. So this could be, if it's a romance, could take on a very unusual form, or it just could be unconventional or different in some way, or exotic even. Or the person could be like that, the one that you're going into the relationship with. Or the business venture that you're going in, this business partnership you're forming, is going to be about that, unusual, unconventional, different, and so on. It could be cutting edge. So if it's a business partnership, it could be a cutting edge venture that you're going into. Or as I said, this person could be just very unusual, very exotic. They're different from you in some way. Or you could be, aligning with somebody who is very different from you in some way. They've got different outlook in life. They may have a different sexual orientation. They may just come from a very different background, or be foreign, just foreign, So whatever it is, this relationship is going to have the support of friends and alliances to see it forward, to move it forward. There are technical elements to this as well. So this person could be cutting edge or have technical abilities which you're going to learn from, or you're going to enjoy in this relationship in some way. It could also maybe be that you feel a little bit out of your league with this person. This person could be so cutting edge or so different from you that you feel a little bit out of your league, but nonetheless there is a deep connection with this person. So that's why friendship is important. And that is why following your own path with this person is highly appropriate at this time. So because you've got indications in your card that this could be a really significant partnership or a very significant relationship, which is going to require a great deal of insight and realization and following your own path with them. So they could be very different from you. You could feel a little bit out of your league, and you may have to step up in this situation. It could also be that you may need to take a slightly unemotional approach, or maybe that is coming up for you. Maybe you're being unemotional at this time. So a lot of reasoning coming in. And just see how that weighs up for you. You may need to be that way in relation to protecting the relationship, or it could be that you need to take that stance in the relationship, or it could be that you're exhibiting those tendencies. You need to adjust that because it's a close personal relationship, so it may not require that if it's a love relationship. But if it's a business partnership, you may need to be unemotional and use your reasoning abilities. It could also be that you are exhibiting stubborn qualities. So when I say that, I mean, it's, stubborn can work in some cases, but it can also work against you in a relationship as well. So just be aware of that. You may need a lot of freedom, or this person may need a lot of freedom because they're different from you. It could also be that you need to reinvent the relationship as well, or you need to reinvent your ideas about this relationship or the basis of this relationship, a reinvention of how you approach a committed relationship like this. Then in the 8th house, we have North Node, Life's Purpose. So beautiful card to be having in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of sex, death, and rebirth. It's all of those elements. It's the Scorpio house, but it's ruled by Pluto. So the 8th house is all about all themes to do with that. So this is all sexuality, whether it's yours or with a partner, an exploration, or that it could even be a profession for you. Perhaps you're involved in that in some way. It could also be to do with renewal and regeneration of something, whether that's an existing partnership or relationship, or it could be with finance as well. So regeneration, renewal, rebirth, all of those elements come in. It's also the house of endings and beginnings, so something could fall away and something new come in, and that is very much an energy with this card as well. So it's a powerhouse. There's a lot that goes on in here. It's a finance house, but this is big finance. So this is investments, insurances, taxes, assets, accounting, banking, all of that. It's also inheritances and legacies as well, because that's where the death element comes in. If somebody has passed away, then you may somehow be getting involved in that. It's also the handling of other people's resources, other people's money or resources. But when it comes to a partnership, it's about the merging of you with another, whether it's a love partnership or whether it's a business partnership. So this is the merging of your material and emotional resources, the nuts and bolts of how you're going to bring this together. So with this card coming in, its North Node is to do with your life's purpose. So there is purpose is coming to life for you in this house. So whether this is through this person or this business partnership or some kind of financial situation or some kind of regeneration or renewal or some kind of inheritance, whatever it's working out for you, it's some purpose is coming to you now within this house. Doors are opening. There's going to be a swift change of some sort possibly for you, because this card has an element of the way you have been going about things could shift and go in a new direction, because it's bringing you to your purpose. So if you've been in a place which was not bringing you to your purpose, then this will shift you and change you into that. So it could be a swift change, very, very swift in that direction, but it's all for the better. So embrace it, take full advantage of that. But if you are already working on that and you're trying to get things moving, perhaps you've been facing a few obstacles, this is going to move those obstacles out of the way for you, and you're going to get the green light. This is very much a yes card. So it's right place, right time. You're going to be right place, right time to harness something about this energy in this house. It's very much about positive karma. So whether it's this lifetime, or if you believe in previous lifetimes, something is coming to you now and it's really going to be good. It could be gifts, rewards, benefits of all kinds just coming for you. It can bring in wealth. It's very much a destiny card. So whatever comes to you in this house is destined for you. So wealth could be coming in, and in your money house, this is amazing. It's also about, it's got a lot of karmic energy about it, so it could be your soul tribe. You're going to be possibly meeting people who are part of your soul tribe. So this could be soulmates and people that you have some kind of connection with. You have an instant connection with them, whether they're with you for long term or short term, doesn't matter. They're there for a purpose. They're there to assist you, and you also play that role for them, but it's going to be very beneficial. You're going to feel connected to them. It could also be that they come in to assist you at this time because hidden talents that you have or hidden skills and abilities that you have could be coming out at this time in this house. So there's going to be assistance from this. They're going to help you move forward in some way. But this card ultimately brings in the potential for fulfillment. really the potential for fulfillment is very, very strong with this card. It's a beautiful card, wonderful card to be having. It's a really positive card, doors opening. But for some of you, there may be very swift changes, but it's for the better. It's going to move you, so take full advantage. Then in the ninth house, we have, sorry, just wait for that pass. In the ninth house, we have Uranus Genius. So another very amazing card if you can harness the energies with this. Ninth house is all about international travel, all things international, all things foreign. So you meeting the world or the world meeting you in some way. So it could be university education, which you're going to study, or adult education, and this brings you into contact with foreign concepts or international concepts, or just learning about the greater world. It's wisdom, understanding, purpose, meaning in life. It's also intuition. Your intuitive processes come in with this house. So this house also rules philosophy, religion, and belief systems. So whether that's a form of study for you or you're getting a deeper understanding of it. It's also the house of law and the higher courts. So whether you're studying that or involved in it in somehow, perhaps you're working in it, or it could be even that you are involved in a case of some sort. It's also the house of teaching, publishing, promotional work of all kinds. It can also cover the relationship you have to your in-laws, but it's ultimately about seeking truth and finding wisdom in life. And for some people, it's just about faith, really. So ninth house, it could also just be a really incredible trip, or a sense of adventure and exploration comes upon you now. Ninth house is all about that, whether it's in the mind or physical. So now with Uranus, Genius is coming in to shake things up big time in this house. It is called the Great Awakener. It's the god of change. Okay, so something coming for you in any one of those areas, or it could be a number of areas in the ninth house, but expect the unexpected with Uranus around. There will be a sudden jolt or a surprise of some kind. It could be purely mental, an awakening of some kind, or it could be a physical, some other thing happens, something changes dramatically, and it causes an upheaval. So, and through that you get a realization of some kind or insight. But changes are coming, they're going to be rapid. It will lead to disorientation of some kind. It could also be a liberation from something as well. It's got a cutting-edge quality to it, Uranus, always. It's futuristic. Uranus is all about that. So unusual things could be happening, or you could be involved in unusual things, or you could be channeling unusual things, especially if it's publishing. So unconventional, unusual, exotic, foreign, just very unusual, unconventional things. It could be technology that you're getting involved in, or you could be studying these things. It's upgrades. It's everything to do with technology, space, physics, science fiction, astrology even falls under this. So it could be something you're studying, or you could be going through that in the ninth house. It could be affecting your work life or just personally. It's also about global trends and so on. So the Uranus can bring that in. So you could be watching that, you could be tapping into that if it's something that you're teaching or you are writing about, or you're traveling. It could be an unexpected trip coming for you, something that you just did not know was going to happen comes for you. Or you could just have the sudden realization that there's something you need to do for yourself, whether it's an adventure or this mindset could come upon you. But it's a very, very unexpected, a sudden jolt, but it's very much about awakening, this card. Then in the 10th house, we have Libra Eye Balance. So the 10th house is your house of your career, your fame, your reputation, and your public status. It's also the house of authority figures or institutions which are in authority, like the law, the military, and banking even, anything like that. Or it could also be an authority figure in your life. So this could be a parent, or it could be some authority figure in your home or in your workplace or your career, or somebody that you look up to, a guru. Okay, so what this card is bringing in for you is it's saying that it's a good time to link up with another at this time. So a partnership of some kind. So whether this is with a love partner that you're now going to be working with, or whether it's a partnership of some other kind, whether it's to further your business or in your work related, your career. But it's linking up with another. There's mutual benefit, merging of resources and support. But in all things, always balance your needs with their needs. So you can't put your needs aside in favor of theirs. You have to balance both of them. In this process of balancing and merging, there's negotiation and mediation required. So you need to use all of those skills. This card also brings in legal things. So you could be involved in legalities or legal issues, and that's where the negotiation and mediation comes in. It's also about rules and fairness. You've got to follow the rules and be fair. If there is any drama going on in here, just use your charm and refinement to sort the issue out, because that comes with this card. The ability to balance, to bring the charm in, to smooth things over, to smooth ruffled feathers or whatever it might be going on. It's very much a card of refinement as well. It's a very romantic card, but in your 10th house that may not be appropriate. So if you are in the arts, which is ruled by Libra, if you are in an artistic profession, or you're in a creative profession, and harnessing that is important for you, then the romantic side of it may very well come in. It's all about love, about romance, and projecting that. So if you are perhaps a ballet dancer, then that is very much indicated for you. Or if you do stage work, if you're an actor or an actress or something like that, then the charm, the beauty, and the appreciation of beauty comes in, and the art of refinement. Okay, that's very much indicated with Libra. So it's appreciation of all of that. Perhaps it's a career choice for you right now. This card can also indicate that a decision needs to be made. You may have been sitting on the fence about something. There's kind of an indecision going on in this house. You've been undecided about something, and now the time comes for you. You need to make a decision and move forward, because otherwise the universe will step in and do it for you, and it may not be what you envisioned for yourself. So take steps and make a decision. In the 11th house, we have Mercury Mind. 11th house is the house of friendships. It's also the house of your personal hopes and dreams, and your wishes, your hobbies, and your own hobbies and interests. It's also the house of your contacts and networks, which are associated possibly with friendships, but also with work or whatever it is that you do. Perhaps it is a hobby and interest, and you're furthering that. You're trying to build that up. It's also the house of all group activities. So it's your interaction in those groups. So whether it's in a society or an association or a group activity, it could be a club or a sporting event, or a sporting club, book club, anything like that. It can also be, a group of companies that may be appropriate, but it's group consciousness comes in. It's also, it can also be, sort of global movements of things, global consciousness, group consciousness, as I said, social reform and causes, which may be appropriate for you. But it's also sensitivity to trends and currents in society, tracking that and using that to your advantage in some way. So now, with this card, Mercury Mind, it's very much a mental card. It's the intellectual sign. So you need to think things through in this house. Use your intellect. There's the exchange of ideas going on in this. You need to be quick-witted. You need to bring your humor in. Be curious. Multitasking also comes in. Flexibility. So whether this is to do with a friendship, or perhaps you're making new friends and you need to exhibit these tendencies, or you just need to change things up with your current friendships. Keep things interesting. Be curious. Try new things. Bring a bit of humor in, and think things through. You may be having to help them through something. Use your intellect to assist you there, but you just also may be needing to be flexible between groups of friends or between your friends. Maybe all your friends are very different from one another. It's the managing of all of that. But this card is also very much about being quick on your feet, taking quick advantage of things. Technology, electronics, vehicles, so cars, maps come in with this as well. So that may be part of this house for some reason. you may be using that in some way. So technology, electronics, cars, maps, all of that, and upgrades to those as well. It could also be that a gossip is going on again. It comes in with Mercury. So you may be hearing gossip about a friend or something going on, or you could be receiving a message about something, or you could be being talked about, which we mentioned before. So you could be changing friendships as well, or you could be being on the receiving end of being talked about. Perhaps you're wanting to, if it's to do with a relationship, somebody that's very different from your normal set of friends. Perhaps you're entering a relationship with somebody and you're now having to start new things, or you're having to rethink everything. All of these things can come in for you. You may have to talk your way in or out of something with this card. Just be careful that you don't come across as glib or fickle or argumentative. That can come in with Mercury when it gets cornered, So this could be in a group setting, or it could be to do with your friendships, as I say. But keep things light-hearted, bring your humor in, think things through, and be quick-witted. That's above all, very quick thinking, moving with this card. Then in the 12th house, we have Yod Destiny. So the 12th house is the house of the unconscious. So this is a large part of our lives. What goes on underneath the surface, what goes on behind the scenes in you. So your hidden motivations, your desires, your dreams, everything that goes on under the surface in you. It's where you go to meditate, to reflect, where you go for healing, when you want to retreat. It's got everything to do with your spiritual life, your meditation, your mysticism, and your healing is all governed by this house. It's also the house of escapism and addictions, resolutions and endings, service to others. This may be a profession for you, so it's the helping profession, or you may be interested in social reform. Perhaps you're volunteering for things, so service to others. Perhaps you enjoy that. Perhaps you want to start it now. It's also the house of karmic lessons coming in. It's also the house of meeting twin flames. So now, any kind of experience you may have in an institution of any kind. Okay, so this could be a hospital or a library or a university, prison, whatever. Any kind of institution, government even. So now, what I feel with this card, how this card is going to affect you. This is a very strong card to be having. It's very focused energy. It's a lot of pressure coming down on one particular point, and it's coming down in your 12th house. So this is almost like you're grappling with something. There could be a bit of chaos, a bit of pressure going on. You could be a bit stressed about things, but this could be purely internal. So this could be you grappling with a mindset which you need to change, or grappling with circumstances which are putting you under a lot of pressure. It's requiring you to deeply reflect on your internal life, or perhaps to examine your spirituality, or your perhaps healing, or perhaps your past patterns and so on. That could all be coming up for you. But what this card is saying is that divine timing is at work in this house. So don't force issues with this card. It's a destiny card. Okay, so things are going to be following a specific path. Don't worry what others say or think of you at this time, because you may be feeling very out of it right now. Don't worry what others think or say about you. Do things on your own. Nurture and follow your own path, or if it's a relationship, follow your own intuition, your own internal feelings about this relationship. Trust that in the universe, trust that things are just going to work out. Take your time and consult your inner knowing as you navigate your path, because your inner knowing already knows what to do. Your inner GPS already knows what to do. You just have to simply consult it. And this is where the deep reflection comes in, which is very much a 12th house thing. So consult your inner self, spend time on that, and just navigate this path, because it's not going to be easy. There is going to be pressure, and you're going to feel maybe cornered. But just stay with your truth. You must follow your truth in this situation. You already know what to do. So stay focused on each step forward, despite any chaos or drama that is going around you, or any kind of disapproval, or any kind of where you just feel out of it, like you're not in step with others. Don't worry about that. The whole purpose of this card is for you to harness your own truth and your own path, and just even if you have to work alone on it, just keep plodding along through keep weathering through any difficulties, and you will find your way, and let the universe carry you there. Okay, Taurus, hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe, and take care, and I will see you next time.